So good morning once again, guys. Today we begin our session, our discussion on the time value of money. Some weeks back, we said that 1 peso today is different from 1 peso after 1 year. It's because money has cost. There's such a thing as the time value of money. So we would rather have 1 million today than having 1 million after 5 years. That's the fundamental aspect of the cost of money, the time value of money. So yung pinaka-basic, the most basic things that we're going to discuss first is to look at the concept of compounding and discounting. Okay, so yung dalawang process na to, so let me just, as I mentioned a while ago, when it comes to the concept of the time value of money, so this is 0 times 0 and times 5, time 5, year 5, for example, 1 million today is not the same as 1 million after 1 year. Hindi equivalent yan. Because we are assuming that, and it's right to assume that money has cost. Which means that you can find an investment, for example, kahit 5% lang, put your money there, guys, and your 1 million will not be the same as 1 million after 5 years because there's such a thing as compounding. Okay, so we can, given this amount, 1 million, we can compute for the equivalent value. So yung 1 million na to, ang tanong, how much is it worth 5 years down the road? Okay, assuming that the interest rate is 5%. How much will that be? So that process of determining the future value is called compounding. Okay, so when you're looking for the future value, you are compounding. And then how do you compound? Based on the future present value, this one, you multiply the present value with a certain factor. Itong 1 plus r raised to the t. Yung 1 plus r raised to the t, this is called your compound factor. Compound factor. And notice that the compound factor, guys, is exponentiated, raised to the t siya, no? Hindi lang siya times t. Okay, on the other hand, if you know the future value, and then you'd like to know the equivalent present value, okay, you perform a process called discounting. So the process of getting the present value is called discounting. And this factor, 1 plus r raised to the negative t, let me write that here. Okay, so that 1 plus r raised to the negative t, this is called your negative t, this is called your discount factor. And a review of your algebra will state that this is just the same as 1 plus r, 1 over 1 plus r raised to the t. So these two are equivalent. So when you're using a calculator, you can perform those two, you get the same answer. So those are the two basic processes, guys, you know, compounding at saka discounting. Okay, let's start first with getting the doing some compounding, computing for the future value. Okay, suppose you have 1 million today, and you'd like to know how much this will be 20 years down the road. Okay, assuming that the rate of return, interest rate is 12%. So magkano siya? Magkano yung 1 million ngayon? 20 years down the road. Okay, so if we're going to draw the timeline, diba ang timeline yan, it's always helpful, guys, to draw the timeline. So ang sinasabi sa atin yan, meron tayong 1 million ngayon. We have 1 million today. So we'd like to know what year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, and then, okay, 19, and then 20. We'd like to know, magkano ba yung amount na yan, yung 1 million ngayon, magkano ba yan after 20 years? So we're getting the future value, no? Di ba? Ang hinahanap natin yung future value niya. So we would like to compound, no? We're compounding 1 million, okay? And we'd like to know how much it will be, the compound value after 20 years, assuming that the rate of return is equal to 12%. Okay, so we can easily compound that. We can easily compute for the future value. So let's first use the formula. Ito yung formula natin, and then we're going to learn how to use the Excel function. Okay, so using the formula, we have the future value is equal to the present value. So this is the present value and multiply by the compound factor. So the compound factor, guys, is 1 plus the rate of return, which is 12%, and then raised to the, so take note, guys, sa Excel, ang exponent is shift 6, no? For most of the keyboards. I think sa Mac, it's command 6, if I'm not mistaken. Yung caret, guys, yung caret na symbol, this one, that's used for, as a syntax for exponent in Excel. So raised to the 20th year, no? So how much, guys, is 1 million after 20 years if the rate of return is 12%? Pakichat nga, please, kung magkano nakuha nyo. Okay, Charles, mamaya na lang when we have the I'll check your attendance. Thank you for informing me. Okay, 9646. 0 lang meron. The rest, guys, what are you getting, Jana? 96, pareho lang. So Francine, pareho. Okay, thank you. Rian, thank you. Okay. How about the others, guys? William, 9646. Okay, Christian, Sophia, you got 964. Okay, good. Darlene, Marion, okay, Kyrene, thank you. I think unanimous tayo, no? Janry, salamat. Bridget, okay, very good, Michaela. Okay, all of you got, Venice also 9646. So consistent tayo, pare-pareho tayo na ang answer natin, guys, magkano yung 1 million ngayon in 20 years time. Okay, so it's 9646293. Okay, so that's the future value of 1 million after 20 years at a rate of 12%. Of course, guys, pag nabago yung rate, syempre pag tumaas yung rate, kunyari naging 15% to, tataas yung natin, tataas yung future value. Okay? If this was lower, at kunyari 4%, okay, mas mababa. So let's return this. 12%. Okay? So 9646 yung future value. So equivalent yan, guys, yung 1 million today is the same as 9646 after 20 years at 12%. So they are equivalent values. Anong ibig sabihin ng equivalent values? Pag tinanong ko kayo, anong mas gusto nyo? 1 million ngayon or 9646 million after 20 years, assuming na 12% yung rate of return? What will you choose? So, indifferent, ibig sabihin, it doesn't matter what you choose. Because 1 million today is equivalent to 9646293 after 20 years at 12%. Okay, so we are indifferent to choosing between 1 million now at yung 9.6 million after 20 years at 12%. Indifferent tayo nun. Okay? Because they are equivalent values. Okay, now, we can use the Excel function. There's a function in Excel called negative FB pala, FB. Okay, kindly pakichat nga, guys, kung nagamit nyo na yung FB function yan before or is this the first time? First time ba na magagamit nyo? Okay, thank you, good. Kasi marami tayong time value functions na matututunan sa Excel, no? Pag natutunan nyo to guys, next time na you encounter time value of money problems, hindi na kayo magka-calculator. Especially kung lagi naman kayo naka-ano. Tsaka hindi na kayo mag-manual computation. You're just going to use the functions of Excel. Okay? So, FV, sabi ni Excel, before we type the parentheses, bago nyo i-type yung parentheses, guys, magbibigay na si Excel ng, ng definition ng function na to. Yan. Returns the future value of an investment. Okay, so may nakalagay dito based on periodic constant payments. Mamaya i-explain ko to. Kung ano yung constant payments na to. No? Kasi that refers to an annuity. Okay, at a constant interest rate. So, isa lang yung interest rate. No? Okay, so we can use this, FB. So, may mga parameters na kailangan. Rate, NPER, PMT, PV, at saka type. Notice guys, yung PV at saka yung type, naka-parenthesis, no? Okay, naka-bracket siya. That means, it means guys na, ano yan, na optional. Pwede nyo yung lagyan, pwedeng hindi. So, pag nakakita kayong ganyan sa mga function, tapos naka-bracket siya, ibig sabihin optional yon. You can still get the answer without putting the PV and the type. Okay, so let's see. Ano yung rate natin? Rate is 12%, comma. Okay, ano yung ano natin? Ano yung NPER? NPER refers to the number of years, the period, no? Number of periods. So that's 20 years, comma. Okay, PMT. Ano yung PMT? Ang PMT guys refers to, okay, PMT means annuity. Ibig sabihin, it's a uniform stream of cash flows. Kunyari, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100 up to the end. No? Constant yon, pare-pareho hanggang dulo. So may ganong cash flow ba tayo? Wala. Since single cash flow lang to 1 million at the beginning. Ang tinatanong lang sa atin, magkano siya after 20 years? Okay, so this is a single cash flow. We don't have an annuity here. No? So since wala tayong annuity, we can type 0 here. Okay, and then press comma. Or an option is, wag na kayo mag-type ng 0, comma na lang. So Excel will still read that as 0 kasi yung empty between the commas, wala nakalagay. So ibig sabihin 0 yon, no? Okay? So that's PMT. And then what's the present value? Oh, I'm wondering why. Bakit siya naka-bracket? Dapat hindi naka-bracket yan. Okay, anyway, so the present value is 1 million. And then comma, type. Ano yung type? End of the period, beginning of the period. Now, yung type relevant lang yan kung may annuity tayo. Yung PMT. So the type is related to PMT. So since wala naman tayong annuity, wala tayong PMT, then we can just ignore that. Okay, so ignore na lang natin yan. Okay, backspace na ako. There. So we get this. Yan. So we're getting 9.646 million. The only difference is that here, guys, this is negative, no? Ito, positive. Now, why are we getting a negative answer here? Because Excel is very particular about the direction of the cash flows. Okay, may I ask you guys, ano yung, okay, what's 1 million? What's our present value, 1 million? Is it positive or negative? Paki-chat nga, please. Is that positive or negative? Okay, thank you. Thank you. You're correct. That's positive. So ano ibig sabihin ng positive? Pag positive, guys, it means that, okay, sige, Micah, thank you for the question. Okay, sorry I'll flash the solution. Sige. I'll give you a few seconds to copy for those of you who are following along. So that's the formula for our FV, future value. The first parameter is the rate, so that's 12%. The second parameter is NPER, so that's 20. The third parameter is PV. So that's B9, that's 1 million. Okay, by the way, yung PMT guys, hindi natin linagyan kasi kaya nga mayroon tayong ditong empty dito, no? Comma and then comma. That means 0 yon, no? Kasi hindi naman to annuity eh. The cash flow that we're considering here is a single cash flow. Okay. Okay, Micah, did that answer your question? Clear na ba? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Micah. Okay, and then we got a negative answer. Okay, and then back to my question, sabi ko, positive ba to o negative? It's positive. Tapos yung answer natin negative. Bakit ganun? Kasi Excel is very particular about the direction of the cash flow. So yung present value natin, positive. Ibig sabihin yan, inflow yan. Okay? So pag inflow, guys, it can be a loan. Ibig sabihin, nangutang tayo. Nangutang tayo ng 1 million. So, ang sinasabi ni Excel, pag nangutang ka ngayon, yung present value mo 1 million, inflow yan. After 20 years, dapat outflow yan. Kaya nga may negative. Yun lang sinasabi ni Excel. So, hindi pwedeng kay Excel sa sa syntax niya. One has to be an inflow, one has to be an outflow. Kasi hindi pa pwedeng lahat yan inflows lang. Diba? Unless wala talagang inflow or outflow. No? But if we're looking at an investment or a loan, guys, pag nag-invest tayo, maglalabas muna tayo ng pera. So that's a negative. Tapos after the period, babalik yung pera. So that should be a positive. Excuse me, minun lang ako, guys. Okay, so pag linagay na naman natin dito, guys, ang negative to, negative. So ginawa natin negative yung yung present value. Ibig sabihin ng negative, outflow siya. Ibig sabihin nag-invest tayo. Naglabas tayo ng pera. After 20 years, positive siya. Okay, so yun lang, guys, yung syntax ni Excel. So let's be aware of that. So ibabalik ko lang siya. Now, hindi naman natin tinitingnan yung nature ng transaction natin ngayon. No? We're not looking at that. Okay, what's important to us is the value. Yung 1 million ngayon, how much will that be after 20 years? Whether it's an investment or a loan, it doesn't matter. So, in order to just have the positive values, pwede ang gagawin natin, pwede ilalagay natin dito sa present value dito. Okay, this is the PV, no? PV, pwede ilagay natin dito yung PV negative. If we do that, guys, okay, naging positive na natin, yung FV. Kaso, mahirap pa yon. Ang gagawin ko na lang, ilalagay ko na dito negative. Sa harap ko na lang ilalagay negative. Okay? Kasi alam ko na negative ang ibibigay sa akin ng Excel nito eh. Kasi ang present value ko positive. So, hinihingi ko yung future value. So, magiging opposite yan, yung sign. Okay? So, again, guys, since we're just interested in looking at the value. We don't care about the nature of the transaction, whether it's an investment or a loan. Okay, ilalagay lang natin negative para parehong positive lang siya. Okay, and then it agrees with the formula. No? Yung formula natin ito, yung Excel function ito. Okay, clear so far, class? Thank you, Lexi, for the question. Lexi, paki-share yung question mo sa class. Okay, thank you, Lexi, for the question. Yung paglagay natin ng negative is just for us not to be distracted with whether it's an outflow or an inflow. Kasi pag hindi tayo naglagay ng negative, sabi natin, we will get negative answers. Yan, negative. And that's not our concern. No? So we just want to get the values. So that's why I said, kung hindi naman natin concern kung investment yan o loan yan, then lagyan na lang natin ng ng negative so that positive yung answer natin. Kasi minsan nakaka-distract, guys eh. Yung negative na na value na yan. Baka mapagtatanong ko, bakit kaya negative yun? Kasi nasa syntax lang ni Excel yun. Yun ang reason lang kung bakit siya nag-negative. Okay? So it depends on the scenario. Okay? At saka pag hindi naman natin lang nagyan ng negative, okay? Okay lang din naman yan. No? Ang sinasabi lang yan dito sa year 20, it will be an outflow. Kasi yung year 0, yung beginning, it's an inflow kasi positive to. Therefore, ang out ng year 20 natin will be an outflow. Okay, so let's not be confused with that, guys. No? So ilalagay ko lang dito negative para, as I said, guys, ang gusto lang natin, magkano ba yung mga values? And we're not looking at the nature of the transaction. Now, paano kung hindi 20 years? Paano kung 30 years? Is it okay, guys, if I just copy the formula here? Itong formula ba na ito, makakopy ko dito? Paki-chat nga kung yes or no. Okay, Darlene, thank you. How about the rest, guys? Yes, thank you, Gianna. Okay, good, good. Salamat, guys, no? Thank you for all who responded. Yes, you're correct. Pwede natin i-copy. So instead of having to write again the formula, we can just copy this. Control C, Control V. Yeah. Okay, then let me put this closer. Tapos ika-copy ko na lang siya dito. Tapos gawin kong 12%. Tapos gawin kong 100 years to. So dinagdagan ko lang yung columns, guys. So yung isa kanina 40 years, sinama ko na lang, dinapit ko na lang so that I can copy the formula to the right. Okay, so let me give you a few seconds, guys, to do that. Let's see what will be the future value kung 30 years, ano yung future value kung 40 years, ano yung future value kung 100 years. Okay, I hope ginawa nyo, guys, no? So notice, guys, kung 20 years, yung 1 million magiging 9.6 million. But if you add another 30 years to it, okay, yung 9 million naging 29 million, almost 30 million. And then if you add another 10 years, yung 30 million natin naging 93 million. So you notice, guys, na hindi linear yung increase. Ang laki na increase, di ba? Doblehin natin yung years, guys. From 20, dinoble natin into 40. So you might be thinking, madodoble yung ano natin. Yung almost 10 million natin, magiging 20 million yan. No. Naging 93 million. So this tells us about the power of compounding. Okay, yung power of compounding, guys. Yan. Ibig sabihin, as we increase the exponent, kasi ito yung formula natin, 1 plus r raised to the t. Yung compound factor natin. Pag tinaasan natin ang tinaasan yung time, guys, you'll notice the increase is not linear, but rather it's exponential. And how does an exponential function look like? Okay, let's do this. Let's insert another worksheet. Okay. So nag-insert ako ng panibagong worksheet, tapos in-increase ko lang yung ano. Okay, so let's start here. So ano yung rate natin? 12%, no? We have a 12% rate, and then our amount is 1 million. Gagawa lang tayo, guys, ng sensitivity analysis. What will happen to our 1 million? We're going to get the future value if the period is 95. Tapos again 10. Tapos 15. Tapos let's work along these different time frames. Increments of 5, 25, 30, 35, 40. Let's do it up to 100. Is there a faster way, guys, for me than just typing this? Yung 5, 10, 15, 20. Instead of typing just 5, 10, 15, 20, may mas mabilis ba? Para hanggang 100 na siya. Any suggestion? Okay, drag down. Paano ko i-drag down? Any volunteer? How do I drag down? You're correct. Drag down. Okay, thank you, Rian. So sabi ni Rian, just highlight the first two. No? First two. Okay, 5, 10. Ma-predict na ni Excel yung ano dyan, yung pattern. If I drag down, okay, so tama, 100. Okay, good. Very good, guys. Okay, any other way? What's another way? What's another way, guys? Sa kabilang section, may sinuggest 5 muna dito. Tapos, what we can do is ano kaya, guys? Any suggestion? Ito yung sinuggest ng kabilang section, which is correct. Pakichat na lang, guys. Any suggestion? What do I do? What do I write here in this cell? Okay, all right, you're correct, no? So John Rhee suggested that here, so it's E5, okay, yung previous, no? Plus 5. So magdadagdag tayo. And then if we copy this formula down, you get the same answer. Nagdagdag lang tayo ng nagdagdag ng 5. Okay, dito hindi na tayo nag-formula. Just highlight the first two cells and then drag. Okay, okay lang yan, guys, yung formula na to, itong ano na to, itong i-drag down natin, or itong formula na plus 5. Both of them are correct, no? However, may limitation siya. Okay, what if ang gusto natin i-copy up to 1 million? Okay, sige nga, guys, yung 5, 10, tapos, copy ko down, drag down hanggang 1 million. Okay, good luck, no? Nasa ano pa lang tayo, 9,000, 10,000. Okay, abot pa tayo ng 100,000, 900,000 plus. Diba? So dito, ilan na ba? 26,000 pa lang tayo. Okay, you get the point, guys? Dito, ganoon din dito, no? Pag magpa-plus tayo ng 5 sa previous. Okay. Katakot-takot, guys, na pag-drag, no? Okay, so let me go back. Okay, so is there a faster way, guys? So pareho okay yung dalawang method, no? Either establish a pattern, drag down, or formula. Pareho lang naman yung dinadagdag. Pero sabi natin that's okay if you have a short series only. Pero kung malaki na, kunyari umaabot na ng millions, hindi na siya efficient. So sabi nga natin, di ba, guys, before we said that in this class, we're not only going to learn finance, but we're going to learn more about the tools that are used in finance, particularly spreadsheet like Excel. Okay, so let me show you another way. So you have to start first at the first number here. Okay, dapat simula tayo dito. Kung ano yung unang number natin. Tapos, then we will have to set the pattern kung anong gusto natin. Okay, then we go here to the tab, yung home. And then meron ditong ribbon, editing. Ito. Sa editing, makikita nyo, guys, may fill. Okay, can you see this, guys? Sa home, tapos editing, meron tayong fill dyan. Sa Mac ba, may nakita kayo? Thank you, Grace. The rest, guys, nakita nyo? Okay. Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, salamat ha. Okay, so fill. And then series. Yan. Ayan. Dito sa series, guys, marami tayong options. Yan. So first, yung position ng series. Do you want it to be in rows? Ibig sabihin to the right? No, I want it in columns kasi pababa. No? Okay, so what type of series? Is it linear? Okay, additive lang yan. Growth, which is multiplicative. Okay. Then it can be a date or it can be an autofill. So depende kung date, guys, ang clinic natin dito, pupunta siya dito kung daily, weekday, month, or year. Okay, but we just want a linear, no? Kasi 5, 10, 15, 20, we're just adding 5. Okay, so linear lang yun. So ano yung step value natin? Our step value is yung increment natin, which is 5. Stop value is what? Okay, if we want it up to 1 million, yan. Okay? Okay. There, guys. Diba? So that's very fast, no? Very fast. Yes, you're correct. 1 million. Thank you, Grace. Okay, so yun, guys, when you create a series, no? Control Z ka muna. Okay, for our purposes, guys, start with 5. 5 and then fill, then series. Okay, in columns tayo, linear lang. Step value is 5. And then that's up to 100. 100 lang. Okay? Okay, then you have that, which is the same as the other one. Okay. So, ang gusto natin pakita dito, guys, yung power of compounding. So what we're going to do now is to get the future value. So ito future value. So I'll type here, para positive yung answer natin, negative FB. Kasi naka-positive si PV natin. So rate is 12%. So since I'm going to copy the formula down, kailangan naka-fix to. No? Kailangan naka-fix siya sa row 3. Hindi na kailangan i-fix si column D. Bakit hindi natin kailangan i-fix si column D? Kasi itong formula natin, ika-copy down natin. So yung column position natin sa E, hindi naman siya nagbabago. So why fix the column? Ang kailangan natin i-fix, guys, yung row. Para pag hindi kasi natin finish yung row, bababa yan. Okay, so that's F4, F4. So that's $3, guys. Naka-fix yung row. $3. Then, comma. N per. Ito yung N per natin, no? 5. So, we don't fix that kasi we want that to be copied habang bumababa tayo, no? N per natin yun. And then, PMT, sabi natin, wala namang annuity dito. So, disregard that PMT. Just type another comma. And then, PV, ito na yun. Yung 1 million. So, just like yung rate natin, naka-fix dapat yung natin. Naka-fix yung row 4. Okay? So, that's your PV. And then your type, guys, ignore kasi hindi naman annuity to. There. Okay, let me flash the function for a few seconds. Okay? Control Enter. Okay, so tanggalin natin yung Control 1, tanggalin ko lang yung dollar. Number lang. Okay. So yung 1 million natin after 5 years, that will be 1.7 million. And then if we just click this, kasi may mga katabi naman siya numbers, click there. So this is what we were saying a while ago. No? Yung 1 million natin, in 100 years time, that will be 83 million. Of course, you might say, anong use yan? Wala na tayo yan. A person who invests after 100 years will be gone. Well, pwedeng gawing yan? Pwedeng gawing para sa there's a term for that na para sa magiging apo kunyari, no? It's a plan that can be for parang inheritance, no? For a particular person after this number of years, etc. No? Yeah, pwede rin generational wealth. Thank you, Grace. That's correct. No? Generational wealth. Tama yun. So marami example, guys. Rothschild, yung ano ng New York, no? Meron silang dinevelop nila yung ganyang generational wealth. So that yung mga grandson sila, grandson ng grandson, etc. When it's born into the family ng Rothschild, meron na kagad siyang inheritance, a certain amount. I think it's in millions of dollars. So ganun ka blessed na maipanganak ka dun sa family na yun. Meron silang inheritance kagad. And that was because yung mga Rothschild dati talagang they made that plan. No? Okay. All right. So nakita din natin na after 100 years, 83 million. So guys, yung increase hindi siya linear, no? Kasi kunyari ito 5 years natin, no, 1.7. After 5 years, okay, yung mga later years ang tingnan natin. 10 after 10 years 3.1 million. Pag dinoble natin to, yung 10 naging 20 years na. Notice hindi naman doble yung nangyari, di ba? Yung 3 million naging 9 million. Hindi naman siya naging 6 million something. Okay, so yeah, Rockefeller then, you're correct. Thank you, Grace. So Rothschild family, Rockefeller family. May mga ganyang families, guys, especially sa US. Actually galing sila sa ibang bansa din dati, yung ini-establish pa lang US dati. So they amassed more wealth when they went to US. Okay. Sandali lang, guys, may i-adjust lang ako yung dali. Just a moment. Sorry mo na, hindi pa ako makakalaro, ha? Sandali lang, Simon, ha? Okay. Okay, sorry. Kinukulit ako ng papi. Gusto makipaglaro. So nag-sorry muna ako sa kanya. Okay, so where was I, guys? Sabi natin 10 million and then pag nagdoble siya 20 years, no? Hindi naman dinoble yung pera, eh. It's more than that, no? Kunyari 20. Madoble siya in 40, guys. From 9 naging 93, no? So, yung pagdodoble, guys, ang number of years does not mean na dodoble yung pera natin. It's much higher than that, no? Pag i-plot natin to, when we plot this, so insert, and then let's use a scatter plot, no? Scatter plot here. Okay, ito na lang. So take a look at this, guys. Take a look at the compounding. No? So that's not a straight line. Tingnan nyo, guys. Yung akyat ng ng funds natin. So that's definitely not a straight line. Look at that. Napaka-steep, guys, ng inangat niya. Okay. If it was linear, pag linear lang yan, so ganito lang mangyayari dyan. Insert lang ako. Insert. And then, sa shape na lang. Pag linear lang yan, ganyan lang yan, guys. For example, so you see this linear trend, ito naman exponential. So you can see, guys, na pag exponential, iba talaga. Ito yung tinatawag natin power of compounding. Okay, yes, correct, Rian. It's an exponential increase. And that, guys, is the reason why you should invest. Kunyari, pag nagtrabaho na kayo, tapos if you have already the means to wag mo na kayo bibili ng wag mo na kayo bibili ng mga gamit-gamit, no? Wag mo na kayo bibili ng bagong gadget. Rather, ang isipin nyo, while you're young, mag-isip na kayo, plan already for your future. Later on, magkaka-family kayo. Later on, magre-retire kayo. So this is the common problem of Filipinos. No? hindi pinagpaplanuhan, paano yung in 40 years time, 50 years time, pag nag-retire na ako? And nakakalukot kasi minsan ginagamit na collateral yung mga anak. No? So mag-aanak kasi alam niya na in the future, yun ang magiging piggyback niya. No? Kasi sa kultura natin ganun eh, which may ano din yun, may benefit din yun, and it works kasi sa culture natin guys, well-knit yung family natin eh. And yung kids, yung sons and daughters, they have this, they feel it's their moral obligation to take care of their parents later on when their parents grow old. Nothing wrong with that, guys. That's a good attitude. It's always good to take good care of the elderly, of our parents pag matanda na sila. Magandang ano yan, magandang practice yun, magandang halimbawa yun. Ang sinasabi lang natin, okay, parents, yung mga parents, you'll become parents in the future. As early as now, magplano na kayo na hindi nyo i-burden yung mga anak nyo in the future. Kasi may mga ganun guys, may mga parents din, may young ones dati, tapos naging parents sila, ang ginawa nila, they made sure that they will not be bothering their children in the future. In other words, pag nag-retire sila, ano sila, comfortable. They don't need their children. Kasi nga, ang belief nga, yung mga anak naman nila, may mga buhay ng sarili na yan. Ba? Magkakaroon yung sarili nilang mga anak, aalagaan nila yung mga anak nila. So, they had this notion that, I don't want to be bothering our children. Although, alam ko na gusto nilang tumulong, pero, let them have their life of their own. I will, on my own, kasi ipaplano ko yung yung buhay ko, I will have my own retirement fund. Diba? Yun ang maganda, yun ang ideal talaga. So that's what an investment is. An investment is forgoing, forgo natin yung benefit na makukuha natin ngayon para mas malaki yung makukuha in the future. Okay? Case in point, first sweldo nyo, kunyari, kumita na kayo. Marami sa mga Pilipino ang ginagawa, bibili ng bagong iPhone, bibili ng bagong gadget. Okay? If it's really necessary, kunyari, work-related, ginagamit sa work, okay lang. Huh? But if it's something na luho lang, parang sinasabi mo lang na gift sa sarili ko eh. Gusto ko, matagal ko nang gustong to. I don't want to deprive myself. Well, there's another alternative. Hindi lang naman yun ang option eh. Ang alternative, maybe get an insurance plan. Tapos yun, mag-invest ka doon. Kasi guys, yung insurance plan, ito yun. Compounding effect yun. Kaysa bumili ka ng gadget, after 2 years, asa na yun? Wala na yun. Bumili ka ng iPad o iPhone. No? Yung latest, kasi mahilig ka sa latest. Kaso gumagana pa naman yung iPhone mo. Di ba yung mga ganung these are very important attitudes. No? Gumagana pa naman yung iPhone ko, practical lang ako, pwede pa naman magamit to. This will last me 2 years pa, 3 years. Maingat naman ako gumamit sa phone ko. Ang paggamit ko lang naman dito is call, chat, maybe some videos, YouTube, etc., etc., TikTok or whatever. No? Right? So, hindi na ako bibili muna ng I'm not going to buy muna kasi ifo-forgo ko muna yung benefit na makukuha ko ngayon, yung self-gratification na I don't want to deprive myself of the use of this. Well, tell you what, there's an alternative. Instead of buying that gadget na sabi natin 60,000, 70,000, baka pwede mo i-consider na kumuha ng policy, insurance policy, na ang beneficiary initially, kasi kunyari kung wala ka pang pamilya, pwede ang beneficiary yung parents mo. Later on, pwede mo nang mapapalitan yan into your kids, no? Kung may ka na. And then you take care of that investment. Kasi guys, sa insurance, ganito guys. Sa simula, yung cash surrender value niyan maliit lang. But over time guys, pag lumaki yan, ganito yan guys. Kasi exponentiated din yung yung increase. Okay, kunyari matapos na yung 40 years, 50 years, may mga cash surrender value kasi yung mga insurance policies. Lalo na kung variable, no? And whether you invest in AIA, in Sun Life, or in Manulife, or in ano pa ba, yung mga different insurance vehicles ngayon guys, marami naman siya. So, kasi nga, you're piggybacking on the power of compounding. ganito guys. Unlike kung binili mo na, well, gratify mo yung sarili mo. Yeah, correct. Yeah. Sabi ni Grace dito, some people buy Apple products for the experience, not for practicality. Okay. Although we don't judge people, no? Kasi kanya-kanya naman tayong ano, pero still, try to look at the option. Kasi as I said guys, ang investment, which we're going to learn in the 5th week, ano ba yung investment? Investment means letting go of self-gratification now. Let go natin yan. No? Wala mo ng Apple ngayon. Wala mo ng Samsung. Wala mo ng gadget. Kasi I'm going to put this in an investment na future ang return sa akin. Yun ang investment. Okay? That's exactly what an investment is technically. All right? And the good thing is, kunyari, when you go to mutual funds or when you invest in, let's say, insurance, no? Ganito yung effect niya, guys. The power of compounding. Okay? That's why just from this diagram, guys, makikita natin yung value. Yung value ng let's say products like that na exponential yung returns. Okay? All right. I think I've said enough here. I hope that this is clear to you na pag exponential yung growth, it behaves like that. No? Ganyan yung shape niya. So unlike yung linear, yung growth rate, ganyan lang. So ang layo, guys, ang layo ng gap. Ito medyo mataas pa nga yung it can be this way. Ganyan lang usually, ganyan. So tingnan nyo naman guys yung gap, no? Yung marginal revenue, kung revenues man yan. Okay, so let's go back here guys. So ito yung sinasabi natin yung power of compounding. Okay, now let's take a look at this. Paano kung how long will it take your money to double? Kunyari may 1 million tayo and we want to know guys, how long will this double? So pwede natin gamitin guys pwede tayo mag-goal seek dito. But first we have to use our FB. So FB natin, rate is 12%, comma. NPER natin is, ilagay lang natin yung NPER dito. No? NPER. And then PMT, it's not an annuity. And then present value is 100. Okay. Okay, so ang future value natin 1 million kasi zero to, no? Diba? Kasi wala namang kinompound, no? Walang compounding tayo. But if this is 1, okay, kung 1 year magiging 1120. Kung 2 years magiging 1254, etc. So ang gusto natin, ano ba yung kung 10 years ba bago madoble yung pera? Sobra naman, no? So ang question, how long will it take you to double your money? So there's this approximate value and there's this exact value. Ito yung exact value natin, guys. No? So ang gagawin natin, we can use goal seek for this. So if you recall, guys, andito na yung natin, no? Ito na yung set value natin to 2 million. Gusto natin maging 2 million to. Okay? And may formula tayo dito, no? So usually yung set value, guys, set cell dapat, may formula dapat yan. Okay? Because if that doesn't have a formula, this will not work. So go to data, what if analysis, and then goal seek. Yeah. So set cell natin is what? Set cell is this one, yellow. No? To what value? You have to type 2 million. Okay, so 2 million, hindi natin siya pwedeng i-link, wala siyang icon dito. So that's 2 million and then by changing what cell? Ito. So sabi natin kay Excel, hanapin mo nga na maging 2 million to by changing the number of periods. Okay? So, control shift or control alt. Okay? There. Okay. So ito yung goal seek natin. Just for us to be guided. Okay, there, no? So it takes 6.12 years. Bago guys, bago bago natin ma-recover yung, bago madoble pala, sorry. Para madoble yung natin, yung amount, no? Number lang para hindi dollar. Okay. So yung 1 million natin magiging 2 million, it will take us 6.12 years. Will it matter, guys, kung malaki yung amount? Suppose this is 20 million. Will it be the same? Okay, so gawin mo kung manang 1 yan, ha? So hanapin natin, guys, para maging 40 million to. Let's see what happens kung pareho lang. So data, what if analysis, goal seek, and then set cell, this cell equal to 40 million. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Kasi ang initial natin, 20 million, di ba? We want it to become 40 million by changing this cell. So will it matter kung malaki yung present value natin? Okay. It does not, guys. So whatever the amount is, okay, it will take us, kung 12% yung interest, in this case, it will take us 6.12 years in order to double. So depende yan, guys, not on the present value, but rather on the interest. Okay, so meron tinatawag tayong just for power yata, I forgot, no? But it's the blank of 72. I think it's a power of 72. You can compute for the number of years bago madoble yung amount, guys. Bago madoble yung amount by using 72. And how do you use 72? Get the percentage rate. 12, no? Wag niyo isasama yung percentage. And then is equal to 72 divided by 12. Okay, so that's around 6%. So ano lang, yung approximate lang, no? Unlike this 6.12, this is more exact. Okay, whatever the interest rate is. Kunyari, experiment tayo, gawin natin tong 5%. Okay, 5% in 6.12 years, guys. 26 lang, ano? So mag-goal seek tayo. Data, what if analysis goal seek. Set cell ito equal to 40. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. By changing this cell. So it becomes around 14.21 years. Kung 5%, guys, yung ano natin, kung 5% yung interest rate, it will take approximately 14.21 years before our money doubles. Okay. So dito, i-ano natin yan? I-perform natin dito yan. So this is, magiging 5 to, no? 5. So this is now 72 divided by 5. Okay, 14.4. So approximate, no? And approximate. So as to the question, how long will it take for your money to double? Kung gusto niyo quick approximate, 72 divided by the percent. So kung gusto niyo exacto, then you have to do either calculate yung formula using the formula or just use the function in Excel. Okay, clear yun, guys? Clear yung power of 72 na yan? Paki-chat lang, please, kung clear tayo. Okay, thank you. Okay. All right. Salamat. Salamat. Okay, let's continue now. No? Okay, ito. Ito naman, guys, yung reverse. You're given this. Okay, kinopya ko lang to sa future value dito. You're given the future value. We compute for the present value. Pareho pa rin yung parameters. 20 years, 12%. We should be getting 1 million then. Kasi reverse lang natin yung process. So if we're going to use the formula, ang formula natin, di ba, ito, no? Future value times 1 plus r to the negative t. So that's future value, which is this one, and then multiply that by 1 plus the rate, okay, raised to the, close ko, and then shift 6, raised to the negative t. So that's the formula. So pause muna ako, guys. So this is using the formula to get the present value. Okay, then control enter. As expected, guys, I got 1 million. Open ko lang yung format ito para hindi naka-dollar. Okay, 1 million dapat, guys, kasi reverse lang natin yung process eh. Ito, nagsimula tayo sa 1 million, 20 years, 12%, you get the future value of 9646. Kung binigay naman sa atin yung future value na 9646, tapos 20 years then, 12%, ano yung present value niya? You should be getting 1 million. Okay, thank you. Now, so ang question ko ganito, ano mas gusto nyo? 1 million ngayon or 9646293 after 20 years, assuming a rate of 12%? What do you prefer? Yung 1 million or yung 9.6? Take note, guys, 1 million ngayon to. Yung 9.6 after 20 years pa. And let's assume that the interest rate is 12%. So what do you prefer? Bakit siya nga? Cut. Okay. Thank you, Marian. 1 million. How about the rest, guys? Thank you, Lexi. 1 million. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Ron. 1 million. Okay, Grace, salamat. 1 million. Rishan, thank you. 1 million. Ivan, thank you. Okay. Micah, thank you. Okay, so consistent tayo. Good, no? Good. 1 million. Okay, the answer, guys, is it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, guys, because these two values are equivalent. So whether you get the 1 million now or whether you get the 9.646 million after 20 years, assuming a rate of 12%, they are equivalent values. Pareho lang sila. So in other words, guys, it's a point of indifference. Whether we get 1 million now or 9.646 million after 20 years. But the assumption, guys, is of course, ang interest rate is 12%. Okay? So that's a point of indifference. So importante, guys, yung concept ng equivalent values. Yung 1 million today is the same as 9.646 million after 20 years, assuming a rate of 12%. Correct, no? Sabi dito ni Dennis, same lang naman kasi same value ng kasi yung value ng PV at FV, no? Okay, so we were able to compute for the FV using, diba, using 20 years tapos using the prevailing rate. Okay, na 12%. So whether we choose 1 million or 9.646 million, it doesn't matter, guys. It's what we call a point of indifference. So it's a point. We are indifferent. We are indifferent whether to choose the 9.6 or the 1 million. But take note yung context, guys. 9.6 na to, after 20 years pa to. Okay, si 1 million ngayon. And that the prevailing rate is 12%. So actually, it doesn't matter. No? It doesn't matter. Restricted lang tayo, guys, dito sa 12%. Kasi kung sabihin nyo, I'll choose 1 million today kasi baka makakuha pa ako ng investment na 14%. Okay, while that might be true, guys, so ano na, iba na yung condition nun, no? Kasi ang sabi natin, ang assumption natin, dapat ang prevailing rate 12%. No? Excuse me, sandali, guys. Okay, so point of the indifference, guys, 1 million and 9.6 million. All right. So yung present value, guys, at saka future value, they're just reverse ano lang sila, no? Reverse values lang sila. And then sabi nga natin, equivalent values yan. Assuming na assuming na yung pa rin yung years at saka yung pa rin yung yung interest rate. Of course, pag binago natin yan, pag may binago dito, hindi na we cannot compare anymore, no? Okay, kasi nabago na yung parameters. Okay. All right. Then we go to, saan ba to? Okay, 1 million. And then if we use, by the way, guys, ito na yung we can use the Excel function PV. So I'll put negative kasi guys, naka-positive yung future value natin. So negative PV guys, rate is 12%, comma, NPER is 20, comma. We don't have an annuity. This is just a single cash flow. Future value natin, ito, 9.6 million. And then ignore the type because this is not an annuity. All right, there. So it's the same, guys. Whether we use the formula or we use the PV function. Okay, pause muna ako. Any questions so far, guys? Clear ba tayo? Okay. Okay, thank you. Very good. All right, let's now go to annuities. Punta na tayo sa annuities, no? Yan. Annuity. So we have here the formula. If we're computing for the annuity, ito yung formula. If we're computing for the present value of the annuity, ito yung formula. Okay, we're going to, or I'm going to ask you to try to compute for this using these formulas. But we can, of course, compute for whether the payment or the present value. Okay, we can use Excel, yung functions ng Excel. But first, let's have an introduction about annuities. So this in a nutshell is what an annuity is. And we have two types of annuity. Number one is annuity ordinary. So ano yung annuity ordinary? The transaction begins here. Dito yung transaction, okay, but the cash flow will be at the end of the period. So kunyari guys, nag-loan tayo. Nag-loan tayo ng, let's say, whatever, kunyari real estate, no? Pag nag-loan tayo, the first payment will be at the end na na-transact natin yung yung loan natin. Okay? So usually that's an annuity ordinary. Okay? Whether kunyari mga consumer loans. Maglo-loan tayo para bumili ng motorcycle. Maglo-loan tayo para bumili ng computer, no? Or whatever consumer loan you have. Then the payment comes at the end of the first period. So that's an ordinary annuity. Ito guys, pakitanggalin ng 2,000 dito. On the other hand, guys, si annuity due. Si annuity due, guys, immediately papasok yung cash flow. So notice, itong dalawang to, pareho lang siyang 2,000. Ang difference sila, ito, at the onset, papasok na yung cash flow. Whether it's a loan, whether inflow yan or outflow, basta immediately. Okay, begins at the beginning of the period. Si ordinary naman begins at the end of the period. So parehong cash flow siya, parehong 2,000 na 5. Okay? Pero magkaiba ng timing. Ang kaiba nito, ito, may simula ng 2,000, dito wala pa. Ito naman, may ending na 2,000, dito wala. Okay? So that's the difference between annuity ordinary at saka annuity due. Now, kunyari, you're dealing with an annuity problem, and kung walang sinasabi kung annuity due or ordinary, the assumption always is that treat it as an ordinary annuity. Okay? So ganun ang practice. Pag hindi sinabi kung ordinary or due, automatic yan. Ordinary yan. Okay, if you take a look at this, guys, always, si annuity due will always have the higher present value. Kasi andito na kagad si 2,000. Okay? Annuity due will always have the higher present value. And since it has the higher present value, then it must have the higher future value. Okay? Remember, guys, all things being equal, parehong years, parehong interest, kung mas malaki yung present value mo, mas magiging mas malaki yung future value mo. Alright, so let's illustrate here, guys, dito, an annuity. Okay, let's assume that ang rate nito pareho lang. Okay, rate is 10%. Okay. So una, meron tayong annuity ordinary. Now let's just make it 100. 30 years to na 100. Yan. 30 years to 100, guys. Okay, ang tanong, ano yung present value nito? So there are several ways to do this. The long way is, can we add this, guys? Itong 100 na to, can we add all of them? So 100 na 30, that's 3,000. Can we add them together? Paki-chat nga please, very quickly. Okay, I should be, yes, thank you. No, no. Hindi pa pwede. Lex, hindi pa pwede kasi, di ba, magkakaibang time frame yan. Diba? Sa example natin dati, you cannot add 100 in 1 year's time with 100 in 2 years' time. That will violate the time value of money principles. Okay? Yes, correct. No? Thank you, Venice. So, bawal guys, ha? Oh, yes. Lexi, paki-share yung chat mo. Okay, sige. Thank you. Okay, so, hindi pwede kasi time value of money. No? Okay, so hindi pwede i-add to. So anong remedy natin? Kunin natin yung present values nito. Ano present value ng 100 after 1 year? Magkano siya ngayon? Itong after 2 years, magkano siya ngayon? So pwede natin kunin yung mga present values niya. Okay, and that's very easy. So is equal to, di ba pwede natin gamitin yung negative PV function natin. Present value. So kunin natin mga present values niya. Ang rate is 10%. We will have to fix this kasi guys, ikakopy natin formula natin to the right. So, I hope you know this already. We're going to fix the column. Column i-fix natin. We don't need to fix the row guys kasi ang pag-copy natin along the row. Okay, so the row position which is row 16 will not change. Okay, so that's the rate, comma. What's the N per? N per is ito. After 1 year, and then wala tayong i-fix dyan kasi kakopy natin pa kanan. PMT, okay, we're not considering the PMT here as 100. Individual cash flows ang tinitingnan natin. No? So dito, guys, 100. So when we copy this to the right, pupunta siya sa pangalawang 100. No? Okay, and then FV, wala namang FV, guys. No? Lahat to 100 lang hanggang dulo. Ay, sorry. Mali ako. Mali. So anong ginawa ko? Hindi siya PMT, ha? It's not a PMT, guys. It's a future value. Yan. Sorry, my mistake. Pag PMT lang, guys, kasi, ibig sabihin, yun ay yung batch ng numbers. Yung 100. Pero ito, ang ginagawa natin, guys, isa-isa natin kinukuha yung present value ng 100 across time. And then type, ignore kasi hindi naman siya considered the annuity. Control Enter. There. So, i-format ko lang. Okay. Nalagyan ko lang ng... Okay. So, ano ibig sabihin nito? Yung 100 after 1 year is equivalent to 90.91 now, assuming 10%. No? Okay. After 2 years, yung 100 which will be obtained after 2 years, magkano siya ngayon? 82.64, etc. No? After 3 years, magkano siya? After 5 years, yung 100, magkano siya ngayon? 62. Ibig sabihin guys, habang lumalayo yung ano natin, yung future value, lumiliit yung present value niyan. So much so guys, magkano yung 100 pesos which we'll be getting in 30 years time, magkano siya ngayon? 5.733 na lang. So siyempre siya yung pinakamaliit. Kasi siya yung pinakamalayo sa present value. Okay, bilis ng oras. Kulang naman ako sa oras. Okay, so can we add this now guys? Pwede ba natin ma-add itong 90.91, 82.64? Paki-chat nga please. Can they be added? Okay, thank you Darlene. Yes, correct. Lexi, correct. Pwede na. Yeah, Rishan, Gianna, thank you so much. You're correct, no? Pwede na siya kasi lahat to guys, present values na siya, no? These have been converted into values now. Ito value now to now. Lahat yan now guys. Based on future values of 100, depende dun sa year, no? So we can add this now. Is equal to sum. Okay. Sum natin up to 30. Okay. So that's equal to 942.69. So guys, ang equivalent pala, yung 100 pesos for the next 30 years, if it's 10%, no? It's equivalent to 942.69. Therefore, guys, ano yan, indifference point na yan, Ibig sabihin, tanungin ka, anong mas gusto mo? 100 pesos na makukuha mo every year, starting year 1 up to year 30? 100 pesos siya. Tapos ang rate 10%. Anong mas gusto mo? Yon o 942.69 ngayon? Ano answer? It doesn't matter, guys, kung ano makuha mo. No? Kung yung 100 na yan, okay, or yung 942 now, okay, it doesn't matter. They are equivalent values, assuming na 10% yung rate natin. Okay, I hope that's clear, no? Indifference din yan. Now, yung ginawa natin dito kanina, medyo mahaba, no? Medyo mahaba siya. So, may shortcut siya. We'll just use, gagamitin natin yung annuity mismo na 100. Ito kasi ang ginawa natin dito, yung 100, we treated them as individual cash flows. No? But we can use, we know that 100 is an annuity. Kasi hanggang dulo 100 siya. It's a uniform stream of cash flows. Therefore, we can say negative PV. Okay, negative PV. Rate is 10%, comma. And per, ilan yung annuity natin? 30 years siya. 30. Yan. Yun ang N per natin. 30. And then, comma, PMT. Ito na guys yung annuity. 100. Ayan. So, ibig sabihin yan, Excel will now read that as 30 years, tapos PMT 100. Ibig sabihin, 100, 100, 100, 100 yun. Hanggang year 30. Okay? Then, comma, future value, wala namang, unless guys, meron pa tayo ditong, may cash flow pa dito. Kunyari, 10,000 pa ulit dito. May 100 na, may 10,000 pa. Yun, may future value ka na 10,000. May annuity ka na, meron ka pang future value. But in this case, it's only 100. So, wala tayong future value. So, ignore. And then, comma, type. Anong type to? This is annuity ordinary. So, we can either choose 0, which is at the end of the period, di ba? Pag annuity annuity ordinary, no? End of the period. Pag due, dapat 1 yan. No? Okay, so since this is 0, guys, okay, so pwede natin gawin yan. Enter. And 942.69 then. Okay, so you notice that pareho lang yung nakuha natin. Or, we can drop the 0 here. Enter 942 then. Alright. I have a few more minutes lang. Dito guys, ang gagawin natin dito, annuity due. Okay, so i-move natin lang dito. I'll just move this here. Okay, so ang difference dito may 100 na tayo dito, no? 100 dito hanggang year 29. So sa year 30 wala, no? Kasi immediately to no? Immediately. Pero 30 years yung period dito, guys, ha? Immediately nakuha natin yung 100. Dito ang difference, so dito walang 100 pa sa year 0. Dito meron na. Pero sa dulo, meron pa tayong 100 dito. Dito, wala na. Okay, so this is the difference between annuity due and annuity annuity ordinary. So once again, guys, pwede nating kunin, no? Is equal to negative PV, and then the rate is 10% fix. Fix natin yung column, comma, and per is this one, okay. PMT hindi, future value is this one, okay. Ignore the type. Okay. Obviously, guys, ang present value ni 100, present value niya 100 din. Okay, so copy natin to the right. Okay. And then we can also get the sum. Is equal to sum. Okay, time na ba? Ay, hindi pa. Naroon pa tayong 4 minutes. Okay, akala ko 2:15 na. Okay, we still have time. That's good. All right. So 1036.96. As expected, guys, mas malaki yung present value or future value ni annuity due. Kasi 'di ba sabi natin immediately yung cash flow andi dito na, no? Okay, so that's the long way. The short way, guys, is equal to negative PV. Okay, pareho pa rin, guys. Rate is at 10%, comma, And per is, ilang years to, guys? It should also be 30, 30. Okay, some make the mistake of saying it's only 29. Hindi. Okay, annuity to hanggang 30 years. Yun nga lang, nagsimula na kagad na makuha yung cash at year 0. So it's still 30 years, no? Kama, PMT natin, 100, no? Kama, walang future value, kama, type, we have to put here beginning of the period. Yan. Okay, so that will now distinguish between annuity ordinary na 0 at saka annuity due na 1. Control enter. There. So it's the same. 1036. So pareho lang. Okay, so let's go here. So since ginawa natin 100 to, let's make this as 100. Let's make this as 100. Okay. So dito, so present value daw ang pinapahanap. Magkano daw yung 100 na annuity siya ng 30 years at 10%. So how much is the present value? So again, we compute negative PV. Our rate is 10%, comma, and per number of periods is 30. PMT, guys, gagamitin natin 100. And then, comma, walang future value, comma, and then, is this annuity due or annuity ordinary? Okay, since walang sinabi kung due or ordinary, we have to assume that it's ordinary. So 0. Or you can just drop that, no? So, ang formula natin hanggang B31 lang, you'll get the same answer. There, 942, which is the same as what we got a while ago. So if we remove these two, pareho lang yun, guys. Oops, B31 siya. You also get 942.69. And then, guys, ang difference, if it's annuity due, PV, rate is 10%, NPER is 30, PMT is 100, walang future value, type is 1. Yan. That's for annuity due. Again, guys, bakit ako naglalagay ng negative? Kasi if I don't put negative there, it will return a negative answer. Kasi yung annuity natin 100. Eh. So this means a positive 100, ibig sabihin inflow yan. So ang reverse yan, outflow dapat. Okay? So it's 1036.96, which is the same answer that we got here. 1036.96. All right? Okay. Now we can also get the future value. Guys, pwedeng, ano ba? 2:15 na, so it's already time. Pwedeng 2 minutes lang, ito lang, no? Itong dalawa lang to. May I have your permission, guys? Okay, may comment si ano dito, no? Okay, basahin ko na lang yung comment. For Benny, sabi niya, case-to-case basis, yung choice depends on kung need mo na yung pera ngayon. Okay, so we're not talking of kung kailangan na yung pera ngayon or mas kailangan pa yung pera in the future. What we're just saying are just equivalent points, no? Kung pinag-uusapan natin kung equivalent ba yung 1 million today dun sa 9.6 million in 20 years time, yes, they're equivalent. So, yung sinabi kung ano yung point of the indifference, ibig sabihin nun, wala tayong extra or wala tayong wala tayong additional condition na sinasabi na ang pipiliin ko yung 1 million kasi kailangan ko na yung pera ngayon. Okay? Walang ganun na walang ganun na additional condition. Siyempre, pag may ganung condition, mababago na yung natin decision. Okay? I hope that's clear, guys, no? But that's correct, no? Kung may additional condition na mas kailangan ko na yung pera ngayon eh. Okay, di mas maganda na kunin mo na yung 1 million ngayon. Okay? But ceteris paribus, guys, ibig sabihin all things being equal, wala tayong additional na conditions na ano. Kunyari, sasabihin ko naman, hindi ko pa kailangan ng pera ngayon. Mas kailangan ko siya, mas gugustuhin ko siya in 20 years time. Tapos sa 12% yan. Ngayon yung prevailing market rates 10% lang. So, hindi na, kukunin ko na yan after 20 years. Kaysa kunin ko siya ngayon, no? 1 million. So, ang tawag dun, guys, may mga additional conditions na. Wala tayong sinabing ganun. Ang question lang natin, pareho lang ba si 1 million now at saka si 9.6 million? Yes, pareho lang. may indifferent ba tayo kung ano pipiliin natin? Yes, indifferent tayo. Whether 1 million now or 9.6 million after 20 years. We will be indifferent. But once you include other conditions like kailangan ko ng pera ngayon, siyempre mababago na yung ano natin, yung decision. Or hindi ko pa kailangan ng pera ngayon, mas gusto ko in 20 years. Mababago din yung ano natin, yung decision natin. Okay? So, Dennis, did that answer your question? Okay, thank you. Thank you. So ano lang yun, no? So, kasi pag magdadagdag na tayo ng extra, na additional conditions, syempre mababago na yung ano natin. Okay, so let me just finish this. So ito naman guys, you're given an annuity. You can also get the future value. So is equal to negative FB tayo. Rate is 10%, comma. NPER is 30, comma. PMT is 100. Walang present value. And then walang sinabi kung annuity due or ordinary. So dapat ordinary to, 0. Or you can just leave this out, yung 0. Control Enter. So it's 16449.40. So ang ibig sabihin yan guys, yung 100 ngayon for 30 years is the same, yung 100 every year for 30 years, up to 30 years, no? Is the same as 942.69 now. It's the same as 16449. In fact, guys, so if I get the future value based on the present value, so let's see, FB, and then rate is also 10%, comma, NPER is 30, comma, hindi PMT. Ang gamitin natin si present value na 942. Okay? So ignore the type kasi hindi naman annuity. Okay. So it's the same, guys. Pareho lang. Okay, which tells us guys na indifferent tayo, ano mas gusto natin? Yung 100 for 30 years or 942.69 now or 16449 after 30 years. Assuming na 10% guys yung interest rate, point of indifference yun kasi equivalent yung mga pera na yan. Okay? So they're just equivalent, they're the same. Okay, assuming na walang additional conditions guys, we should not be indifferent tayo kahit anong piliin natin. 942 ngayon, 100 for 30 years, o 16449 after 30 years. Okay, so with that guys, I stop recording.